So first of all, thanks for just coming by to listen. I do appreciate the time and effort that people put in. And apologies if everything will be a little bit all over the place for a while because, for those who don't know, I put up a post that the phone got severely damaged. That's going to create some complications, but I will try to work through it. So let me just get the shilling out of the way with the other channels. Please consider supporting this channel via channel memberships or however you like. And please consider looking at the other channels. I do have quite a few things saved up, but it'll be a while before I can edit things and get it out there. But it's coming. So I know what people usually stop by the channel for is to do a kind of summation, as well as hopefully the added commentary on recent events. The second half, I think, will probably be a little surprised where I'm going to go. Like, okay, I understand the relevant player, but why is that important? Well, I think we have to look at the ultimate consequences of what Aaron is up to, right? Because this is about Aaron and the kind of corruption that he's sort of let into the door. And again, let me just do a preemptive response for people saying, I don't get it. If you don't like Aaron, just stop listening. Well, listen, if you've got a big-ass elephant in the room and he occupies, metaphorically, a huge amount of space in your house, yeah, I mean, you could. I mean, just if the elephant just is in the living room, I just avoid the living room. That's it. Just, okay, the elephant's going to be there. I just avoid the living room. But what if I want to use the living room? Well, there you go. Just, you don't have to. Just avoid it. So yeah, it's a little silly. Listen, good or bad, Aaron does have a large channel. It does have a large influence. Maybe mostly negative or not positive or constructive, but it does have an influence. So let us get to what this influence is being used for. And I don't think Aaron is serious, frankly, but apparently he has a tentative plan to sue Nora for allegedly slanderous or libelous statements. And he says he is serious. He does offer a little bit of an olive branch. But let me just sum up Nora first, which I appreciate that she tried to keep it short, although I think the response was frankly bizarre and not as coherent as I think people are alleging. But essentially she said several things. One is that she will not be mentioning, talking about, or ever using even the name Aaron Smith-Levin. That name is forbidden explicitly on her channel from now on. If you use it, it will be blocked. Aaron is personally blocked. He will not be allowed to be in the channel, and she's instructed the mods to erase any mentions of Aaron. And moving forward, there will be nothing about Aaron. Okay, well, I understand what she's trying to say, but I think widespread censorship is not the answer, but okay, fine, that's her channel. She also was a little strange in assuming that the SPT Foundation is a legit foundation. And she says she hopes that Aaron will take that responsibility seriously and will do good work. But she's going to focus on this National Day of Protest, which apparently happened yesterday. Again, I'm not diminishing it. I have a bit of a protest background myself. I don't want to overstep my boundaries. I'm not like Selfless, who I think has put in the hard work. Again, I can fault the man on many levels, but I think his convictions are pure. I don't think he's doing the right things in many ways, but again, you also have to give him credit for speaking out and being very consistent with his point of view, even if you disagree with it. But I have my own protest background, so she says, listen, I'm going to focus on that. So I will try to be reasonable and listen to her commentary on the Day of Protest that happened recently, which was very explicitly anti-Trump. And listen, I'm not a big fan of Trump, but I think we should be open-minded about protests from various traditions, right or left. Okay, so that's her statement. And she kept it to a fairly short time. Aaron was a little bit more long-winded, but the basic gist is that he feels that Nora and others, and he explicitly named Pearl Snappy and a few other people, have been misrepresenting what he does and the foundation does, and they were just getting things wrong. Now, good faith, I do think he had a few correct things in his various statements, but he isn't contextualizing it properly. So with Liz Ferris, Pearl Snappy, and Nora, okay, they may have gone, and by the way, I do remember explicitly a video, which Nora has privated a lot of videos, so I don't know if it's available anymore. She did correct that some information that Liz Ferris or Pro Snappy put out wasn't exactly accurate. I think they were in good faith putting out the information. They weren't trying to lie. But what happened is they were getting into how the finances of the SPT Foundation work, and Liz Ferris was giving people kind of behind-the-scenes look and said, well, this is what I got, these are the payments, so on and so forth. And Aaron was mocking them for getting just basic things wrong. Well, the way I understood it is they transformed some of these receipts, which they should have been more explicit about, saying, this is not the actual receipt, this is kind of modified. You have to do that sometimes for YouTube. You can't just present information a certain way, otherwise you will get punished. Nora did this recently with some of the SBTV Foundation board members saying, oh, I could just put this information out there. No, you cannot. Not on YouTube. You have to be careful with information. YouTube does have guidelines. So they messed up a few things. Nora took ownership, saying, yeah, we got that wrong. But the basic gist is correct, that the SBTV Foundation, in their opinion, is very corrupt, which I agree with. I also think, although Aaron does have, well, frankly, more legal knowledge than Nora, he's not a legal expert by far. He was mixing up a lot of terms with how, quote, libelous statements work and slanderous statements work. And I think he's just very confused. But maybe the lawyer he hired is being nice and saying, yeah, I guess we could go after this or that person. It was really weird in telling who he's not going to be suing, although he may have plans for, like, Stephanie Hutchinson and others. Again, I am more mixed on Stephanie than other people, but it's fine. But I'm not seeing where he would have any grounds, because good or bad, what she does is, as far as I can see, fully protected journalism. She's made no slanderous statements and nothing with malicious intent. I mean, clearly she doesn't like Aaron, and she's a huge Mike Rinder fan, but and I'm more critical of all these people, but I don't see what the grounds for the lawsuit would be. Like, what is the damages he's going to specify? Is he going to say in court formally that he's lost thousands and thousands of subscribers, and that adds up to a lot of money, and therefore Nora should pay him back? I don't know. And he was kind of cute in saying that, listen, if Nora erases a lot of videos and apologizes, there will be no lawsuit. So I see this more he's trying to intimidate people than a serious legal effort. But have at it. I mean, again, free speech in this country is in a very perilous state. Although the Supreme Court, even with the very conservative right-wing justices, have been fairly good on free speech over the decades, it is changing, and free speech is much more limited than before. So again, I follow this pretty closely. So I'm a little concerned myself whether he will find a loophole or a friendly judge to let this lawsuit go. Because, again, even though I don't like Nora, and she did make quite a few statements that are clearly not true, and I think she was very clumsy, I don't like the idea of penalizing someone just because you don't like their opinion. Again, I don't like Nora or what she's up to, but using a lawsuit basically to silence people is also, to me, very, very alarming. But that's my opinion. But let me focus on an aspect I don't think people would notice or even care about. But one of the things that concerns me is really what Aaron is bringing to the table in terms of the corruption. And again, granted, listen, there are reasonable Aaron people. They're not all zombies. They're not all dumb. But holy cow, if you have to point to what is wrong with Aaron and the elephant, is look at Marilyn and her channel of, I don't want to say disinformation, but just very, very low rent opinion. And Selfless had a very long stream. He mainly concentrated on Eric and Trump and his issues with both of those people. But he did do a little bit of commentary on Marilyn. And I agree that, listen, as someone who studies cults seriously, like mass movement seriously, fascism seriously, she has not a clue what the hell she's talking about. Her discussions are extremely basic. They're not very well informed, and I cannot see taking this person seriously that they are literally apologizing, defending, even justifying Aaron's very crazy authoritarian tactics, and then the next second she's condemning Nora as like, Nora's a very bad influence, and the Church of Uranus will not stand with this. Aaron has been very patient, but his patience has grown thin. Well, I'm glad that Marilyn thinks that after this very long wait of a couple months that Aaron has the right to repeal the First Amendment because, you know, he's having feelings that people are not bowing and praying to him at the right moment. I don't know. But I would correct Selfless on one point. Marilyn, in this very long, ranty, mostly deceptive, and again, I'm willing to take criticism, and she had some good criticism of me, she posted this very long rant against me. That's apparently gone. It's either private or been destroyed. Yes, it was explicitly me. She literally put the channel name. So it was literally me. And she just went on and on. Apparently one thing I got wrong with her is that because I mock her alleged Christianity is, I don't identify as a Christian. You're not paying attention. So apparently Marilyn's like, don't use the Bible against me. I don't even believe that. Yeah, Marilyn, we know that. We know that. That's the point of using biblical verses against you, because what you're doing is pretty horrific from the biblical tradition. I mean, you're literally helping the Egyptians or the bad guys in the Bible, but you're passing it off as doing something good. So it's very puzzling to us. But there we go. But if you want to look at what is wrong with Aaron, it's like, yeah, just look at Marilyn. I mean, this woman has 5,000 subscribers. Now, do all the 5,000 people care about her? No, no. These are mainly subs she got from her friendship with Aaron, and it's gotten a lot lower. She's lost a lot of people. The channel used to have over 6,000 subscribers, but she lost a few because her defense of Aaron was so extreme. Even the Aaron fans were like shocked at just how insane she was, defending everything that Aaron did to the point of ridiculousness. But nevertheless, she still gets a healthy amount of people watching her views, given that she doesn't really say anything. And it's always stunning to me, the amount of likes. She usually gets no less than 100, 200, 300 likes. So there really are these people, these hardcore hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of people who just believe everything Aaron says and just think, you are our God. You are our king. And Marilyn will echo chamber the whole thing saying, yes, Aaron is our God. He is our king. We must believe in him. Do not believe the Norris. No, don't believe selfish. No, no, no. Come to the Church of Marilyn's, and we will have bonding with the Church of Uranus, and so on and so forth. And it's just like, okay, fine. I give everyone a good chance here, but what exactly are you bringing to the table? It's like, oh, Nora, she curses up a storm. She's lying. She's a grifter. Don't trust her. Right, Marilyn? I totally agree with those statements. Those are true statements. Nora's not trustworthy. She does make a lot of mistakes. So do you. So do you. And again, I'm not willing to give Nora points she doesn't deserve, but I mean, on the basis of really no research, and granted, both of them are complete jokes. They just don't do research in any deep sense. Nora does sometimes trip upon some good concepts. Again, the way she uses narcissism and abuse is like Laffy Taffy, but she has at least been consistent in focusing on that issue. But Marilyn just denying that Aaron is an abuser is like, what are you talking about? The amount of evidence is overwhelming. It's overwhelming, but every other stream she manages to find something good to say about Aaron. He's just been very patient, but he can only take so much. Him and Jenna's are now back together. They will produce the Antichristos. Well, yeah, whether Aaron and Jenna make love and create the new Antichrist, that's on them. But how are you promoting this stuff? The frankly satanic authoritarian nonsense that Aaron keeps cooking up as like somehow a holy act of virtue. I don't know. I get it. She's not intelligent. But there's not being intelligent, being stupid or ignorant, and just being deliberately vicious to people. For what? For disagreeing with Aaron? For voicing concern with his clearly fraudulent activities? What are you? Is something wrong with your head or something? It's just very, sincere question for her. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, where are we going with this? It's just a very nutcase selling out of all principles for 300 likes per video? 1,000 views? What exactly are we getting here? Because it's not deep probing of cults and religions or anything like that. At least I try, and at least Selfless tries, but what are you doing? I don't think you're even trying. It just seems like a lot of batty nonsense because you have this weird fixation on Aaron and think you and him are, brother and sister fighting the Scientology together? Yeah, well, I got news for you. At the end of the day, Aaron will just use you up, manipulate you, squeeze you, and then throw you aside and forget about you. And maybe he'll have a lawsuit against you too eventually. And saying, oh, I don't trust Marilyn anymore. She's lying about me. Oh, Uranus is surrounded. Uranus, poor Uranus. Poor Uranus. Yeah, okay, whatever. Well, you do you, boo-boo. But I don't trust Aaron. I don't trust you. But I trust neither one of you for good reasons. Whereas Marilyn just clutches the new Bible of Uranus and says, blasphemers! Why are you attacking the temple? I will expose all the liars. Well, if you want to do that, look in the mirror first, Marilyn. Look in the mirror first.